Hey everybody, it's Sonjdradeluxe, and today I'm bringing you this Hot Fire, a red, orange, sunset, smoky eye, sunset lips as well with a little nude ombre to orange. Today we are partnering with Juvia's Place. They make really awesome, affordable, large pan eyeshadows that are very high pigmented. I've used this in a tutorial not too long ago and I fell in love, so they were super kind to want to partner with me on their new festival collection. It has a palette with 9 eyeshadows and 2 lipsticks, a black and an orange. The liquid lipsticks are vegan, cruelty-free, paraben-free, and very comfortable. A black called Doo-Doo and an orange called Soil. Very excited to do this. If you want to see how to get the look, then please stay tuned. I'm going to be starting with my eyebrows already done, and I got into the chocolate almond, so now I have a rash on my face. But anyways, we're going to start with the Truth Serum by Henriksen. It's really great for brightening the skin, which I like for the dark marks I have from my rash. And then I'll be going in with my, of course, Gleam by Melody Melts and Peach Deluxe all over to blur the skin, give some hydration, and it really helps to blur texture on my skin that I get from my rashes. Next up, I'm going in with the Jouer Essential High Coverage Cream Foundation, which has hyaluronic acid in it. It's going to help me keep my skin nice and smooth. It's full coverage. And it's quite matte, so it's nice to use a little bit of the gleam underneath. I'm stippling on a little bit first with my brush just to get a nice base on so I don't massage off my eyebrows. Whenever I do my eyebrows first, I usually use a little bit of a brush in the beginning and then go in with my hands to smooth it around afterwards. And I'm just kind of stippling it on all over, and then I'm going to go in with my fingers the way I really want to be doing my foundation and just getting it everywhere. I also put a little bit of foundation on my eyebrows so I didn't have to get it all in my hair. But anyways, and I'm also going to blend it down my neck because my neck tends to be a little bit lighter. Next, I'm going to go in with my Studio Finish Concealer at NW25. I just want to brighten up underneath the eyes more so than to conceal, and I'm going to go on my eyelid as well to kind of act as a eyeshadow base and just to wipe out any skin color and absorb any oil on my lids. Next, I'm going to go into my MAC Dark Mineralize Skin Finish and my Morphe M511 brush, and I'm going to snatch my nose. I'm just buffing it right at the under part of my eyebrow and then dragging it down to the tip, keeping most of the product up at the upper bridge of my nose and then dragging it down, kind of curving around my nose. To kind of finish contouring, I usually darken my crease a little bit just to add a little bit more shape, so I'm just buffing it around, not being too careful, but avoiding my lid and contouring my crease a little bit just because my eyes are slightly hooded and it just gives me a little bit more shape. Next, with the Hyper Real highlighter palette by MAC, I'm going to highlight the tops of my cheekbones, down the center of my nose, across the top lip, and a little bit on my forehead. I'm using the gold palette. I love this. I think it gives a really nice wet look. I go into more of the darker shades in the palette. Next, with my MAC Dark Deep Mineralized Skin Finish, I'm going to contour and bronze. This is a lot warmer than the dark and a little bit darker. I like to use it as my kind of bronzer slash contour. Next, in the Juvia's Place Festival palette, I'm going to go into the color Oral, and I'm using my Morphe M433 brush, and I'm just doing a light dusting on the lid to kind of start and to brighten up my lid a little bit, and I'm just dusting on a very light amount because I'll be softly cutting the crease a little later. Also filling in the inner corners of my eyes just so I have a nice kind of mustardy base. Next, with the color Zafla, this beautiful rich red tone, slightly on the more magenta side, but only slightly. I'm going to start cutting out my shape, so I'm winging above my crease, and I'm kind of looking down and drawing a line right above the fold of my eye, or right at my eyelid, and I'm winging it out a little bit because I usually wing out my shadow, but I want to keep kind of a space there and just kind of wingling it back and forth, tapping on more product as I go. And bright colors, I like to go in layers just so it doesn't get blotchy on me and just to make sure that it's nice and bright. I'm going to take a bit of our mustard color again and just blend it over top with our blending brush, and then I'm going to go in again and connect the line from my bottom lash line and connect it to our wing we did earlier and drag it out lightly, making it more bold as we go. Again, with bright colors, because I'm not into bases so much, I do like to layer it on, and these are very pigmented, so I want to just tap on a little bit, give it a nice blend, and then tap on some more because I want this to look a little bit glowy. I'm always starting where I want the most product and then buffing out those edges to the max. Next with the shade Ophala, which is a gorgeous neon kind of orange, but a little bit deeper than a bright neon. I'm going to fill in the outer half of my eye where we kept that empty space, and I'm just wiggling on a little bit with my MAC 239 brush and just kind of hugging it into my crease on the outer V of my eye, which is really going to bring to life that kind of glowy effect by stippling on a small amount of product, wiggling it in, and then giving it a good blend. This is my MAC 239 brush, and I'm layering it on to get the most intense look, making sure that we have a nice beautiful sunset glowy kind of look. Taking my blending brush again and blending it out, and you can put on a little bit of your transition shade on your brush or just leave it empty. Next with the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion in the color Fix and the Urban Decay flat eyeshadow brush, I'm going to carve out a line halfway. It's almost like a half cut crease just in the inner part of my eye, and once you kind of get to the center, I'm going to give it a little finger blend, but I just want to cut that crease just a tiny bit in the inner corner, and it's picking up a little bit of the yellow shadow that we did earlier. This is going to make your eyes appear a little bit bigger, a little bit brighter, and it's going to give a little bit of separation between the colors. So I want it to still be blended, so I'm blending it right in the center but keeping it bright in the inner corners of my eyes. I want to use the flat side of the brush to get a nice shape, and then my finger to give it a nice blend. I'm going to go over the middle part of that with our orange shade again, that's the Ophala, and then I'm going to take the Oro color again, the mustard color, and go right on the inner part of that to kind of connect it. That'll give you a really beautiful ombre effect, or gradient effect I guess you could say, while still being able to keep your line. Next with the color Odogwu, the shimmery golden shade in the bottom corner, I'm going to highlight the inner corners of my eyes using the same blending brush. And I'm going to go in with a small itty bitty brush. This is a MORPHE. This is a MAC 231. And I'm going to lightly line the top part of the crease and blend it softly in the center. I want it to almost have a 3D wet look with the shimmer, and that's just going to separate our crease just a little bit more. It'll just give a really nice eyelid. I've had trouble with carving out my eyelid and making it look higher just because my eyes, even though I have a lot of space, are a little bit hooded, so I find just going right on top of your natural eyelid space is the best way to go, and I'm kind of making it in a upside down triangle shape to the center of my eye. Again, not going over the whole lid, we're just creating definition in the crease by wiggling it on that very top part of our crease. I'm also going to go in the very center of the eye again with a little bit of a finger blend, which is going to give a really beautiful kind of wet shimmer effect. So you don't really look like you have a shimmery eye, but it just adds a little bit of dimension. I'm going to blend the bottom parts once again just so it's nice and smooth, and I'm going to take my Jouer Blackout Show Mascara and I'm going to do a nice coat on the top just to wiggle and separate. I like to do this while the glue on my lashes are drying. They need about 30 seconds to dry, and I'm going to take the Lily Lashes in Hollywood and put those down as close as I can to my lash line and to the outermost part of my eyelid so that it kind of opens my eyes up, and give it a little pinch so that it blends my lashes and the false lashes together. And I like to do that while my lashes are wet, even though it can be a little messy. It just keeps your lashes undetectable underneath the false lashes, so there's no separation. Again, giving them a nice pinch over top the wet mascara. There we go. And this is a point too where you can flip your lashes up to make them look more open. I'm going to take that same mascara and give a nice coat on the bottom lashes, keeping it nice and separated. So a little wiggle and separate will do the trick. And I like to flick it back and forth, and I also keep most of the drama on the outer parts of my lashes so they look nice and big. Next, with the liquid lipstick in Soil, which is a matte, I'm going to color the very center of my lips for a nice orange ombre effect, and I'll give that a bit of a finger blend just so it's nice and smooth. This will last all day as well. Then I'm going to take a little bit of my whatever's left over on my foundation brush, the E56, gonna pinch my lips together to hide the color and then just nude out the very outer parts of my lips. Then with the Makeup Forever 100p Artist Plexigloss, I'm going to put on quite a bit on the outer parts of my lips first, give it a nice blend. When you rub your lips together, it'll carry the gloss to the center of your lips, lips, but I'm using the gloss, which has a little bit of shimmer to it to highlight the tops of my lips, and it'll make them look big and juicy. And then if you feel like you need to, which I did, I put a little bit more of that Soil color by Juvia's Place right in the center of my lips to give that freshly bitten, juicy, sunburst, sunset type of look. Next with the MAC Extra Dimension blush in Telling Glow, another kind of peachy gold. I'm going to rosy up my cheeks just to add a little bit more color, and there you have it, friends. So that completes the look. Thank you so much to Juvia's Place for partnering with me on this video. I love their affordable, amazingly pigmented products. Check them out. I'll leave a link in the description box. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to share, subscribe, follow, love yourself, stay pretty, and I'll see you guys again in the next video. Take care.